Welcome back, and this is the time of year when a lot of folks are getting ready for their summer vacations, but with that also comes warnings about hotels and what you need to know before you take off. Here were some tips to protect you, your belongings, and everything else on your vacation. Howard Schwartz with the Connecticut Better Business Bureau. Thanks for coming in, Howard. Always nice to see you. Now, you can get sort of scammed before you even leave because, you know, hotels, they try to lure you in, I've sort of with nice websites and pictures and stuff. How do you avoid getting scammed by your hotel?
Well, the first thing you want to do is to check online reviews, and you've got to take those with a grain of salt as well, because some consumers are not necessarily consumers. They might be paid reviewers, and they'll give a glowing 5-star review. You've got to watch out for market speak. Also, this hotel changed my life, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But the truth is also that there are competitors who will trash the hotel. So the truth lies somewhere between a 1-star and a 5-star review. But some of the problems happen when you get to the hotel, Kent, because the FBI has actually issued a warning for vacationers and for business people alike about Wi-Fi hacking.
You're kidding me.
No.
The Wi-Fi in the hotel, okay.
If it's not password protected, which happens in many places, and you bring your computer, you get a pop-up ad that says, update your software, or it's some sort of an ad. It downloads malicious software, and they start going through your computer. So it can be very dangerous, and you can be sorry for that ad.
Wow, okay, so you bring your own laptop in there, you access the Wi-Fi, and you click on a pop-up, and bam, you're infected there, and you take that home with you.
Whether you hit cancel or OK or try and close it, it'll still happen.
Okay. Let's see. We're also talking about con artists getting hotel visitors' credit card numbers somehow, too. Tell me about that.
Yeah, what happens is it usually comes in the form of a phone call in the middle of the night or early in the morning to try and catch you off guard. Someone tells you that there's a problem with the computer and they need your credit card number, and then you're finished. So you've got to really be careful about that because it is happening and it's been going on for a couple of years.
Okay. And front desk scams. What are we talking about here?
Well, that is the one where someone claims to be at the front desk asking you for that kind of information. When anyone calls, you shouldn't be giving it. The issue of travel insurance is an interesting one, even if you're in a hotel, because anyone who's ever had a medical emergency, had their luggage stolen, anything like that, will tell you that travel insurance is well worth it, but with the caveat, check your homeowner's policy. And in fact, we do have a couple of tips for all of those. So for example, for the Wi-Fi hacking, you want to make sure you do your operating system updates and your software updates before you go away. Be careful what sites you're going on to. With regards to the front desk scams, if anybody should call you up and ask for personal information, regardless of the time of day, you want to verify with the front desk that in fact it's a legitimate call. Chances are it's not. With regards to travel insurance, if your luggage gets stolen or lost, now most insurance policies, particularly when you're dealing with airlines, will cover you up to $2,800. So if you're carrying more than that, then you really should be getting insurance to cover that. And cell phone charges, that's another one. Turn off your roaming services.
Now, do we still, I haven't seen a roaming charge on my cell phone bill in years. Is that still a thing?
It is. You've been lucky. You've been in coverage areas.
Okay.
But what happens is consumers will go outside their coverage area, whether it's in another country, even to Canada, and they'll come back and they'll be surprised because of all these data charges. And what happens is, even though you're not necessarily on the internet or doing texting, if your browser's open, you can end up getting hit with a fairly significant bill. So you want to make sure you turn off all data and roaming and speak to your provider, your wireless provider, ahead of time to see what kind of charges you might get hit with.
Oh, I'm going to stay out of Canada. Boy, no, I'm just kidding. One other thing I want to ask you about, I often think about this. You go to the hotel, you've got, your wallet or your iPod, wherever, you head to the pool, you leave them in the room. Should I bother with that safe? Is anybody really going to come in and steal my stuff?
Well, the surprising thing is that people don't necessarily put it in the safe. Yes, you should put it there, because what happens sometimes is people will leave medication out, or they'll leave some valuables or cameras. While the cleaning crew is in, someone might show up and say, listen, I just forgot to pick something up. They'll slip into your room, grab it, and leave. And it doesn't mean it's an inside job. It could be a professional who watches to see when the cleaning crews are there, and they can't really be expected to know who everybody is in the hotel.
Sure.
But I think in terms of letting people know what you're doing as well is an important point, and that means social media. We all want to share, but it's not wise, obviously, to let the kids tell everyone that you're going to be in Cape Cod for 2 weeks. Kids are not the only ones who do this. Adults do it.
I see coworkers and friends doing that all the time on Facebook. Oh, I'm about to leave for a week at the Cape.
That's right.
I'm thinking, why are you doing this?
Come and steal my belongings.
Yeah.
And the other thing is, when you're taking photos in certain sites like Facebook or Foursquare, we'll tell you where the photo's taken and when. So check your privacy settings, and maybe you want to make sure that you don't start sharing all this information.
Yeah, I take those photos, but I don't put them on the social media sites till I get back.
You don't want to see some of my photos. I don't put them up at all.
That seems like a good place to leave it there. Howard Schwartz for the Better Business Bureau, thank you very much for coming in.
Thank you.
Always a pleasure to see you. Please be safe on your travels. Everybody, for more of those tips, you can go to our website, WTNH.com.